erasers I have. I am going to be doing some stamp carving. I got the very last of these erasers from the liquidation sale that one of the stores is having in our area. But I didn't get them all, honest, I'll tell you. There were about 30 left, and that's what I have here. There are around 30 erasers here, and I took them. But there must have been at least 100 in that basket, and I am so happy to have gotten the last 30. Well, actually, the last 29. Because when I went to check them out, the lady at the cash register said, "What are you going to do with all those erasers?" I said, "I have 30 friends." Then I told her that I like to carve on them. And actually, I am going to use these all for my carving. She looked at me and she said, "Did you take them all?" And I said, "Well, I took what was left." And she said, "I'd like to try carving one." And so I said, "Well, here, you can have one." So actually I have about 29, but I had a few others, so I am really happy to have gotten these because these are expensive. For erasers, they're $1.99 a piece. $1.99 for a 2-inch by 1-inch eraser is quite expensive. But they carve up so nice. I really do like them for stamp carving. And I got them for 65% off. I thought it was going to be 80% off, but I'm glad I did not wait for the 80% or they would have all been gone. So I paid about 70 cents for each one of these erasers. So it was still a bargain. It was still a really good bargain. And I'm so happy to have gotten these because you will see me doing some stamp carving, which let me put these back in the bag and I'll show you where I am on carving my stamps. Okay, I put them away. I have carved a flirty eye stamps, eyes that are flirting, and some eyes that are looking up. But I was looking at these and you can actually turn these eyes this way and the eyes are looking down. So this is a twofer. I don't think you can quite do the same thing with this because of this little heart, but they're kind of looking this way. If you do turn them this way, you can sort of have the eyes looking up that way. So that's kind of fun. So here's how they've stamped off. Let me get them out here. This is the little book that I put my stamp offs in. Here's the eyes looking up. You've seen me carve them. And here's the flirty eyes, flirting. They're flirting, yeah. I carved another set of eyes, and they were supposed to be surprise eyes. But you know what happened? My video card lost everything. Everything on my SD card was wiped off. I don't know what happened, but every now and then you have to reformat those SD cards. And I should start doing that just when I'm at a good stopping point. Clean the card off and reformat it. That's what's in my camera right now. But I did carve some surprise eyes. I'm not especially happy with them. They do look sort of surprised. This is my final one here. But in a way, they kind of look bug-eyed, too. Like maybe they were on LSD or something. On some, like maybe they were on some sort of drug or something. I don't know. Surprised eyes. So I'm not unhappy with the final one because when you draw it in the context of a head and the mouth and the nose, you do see the surprise. But what I'm going to do is you can carve both sides of these stamps. I'm going to carve another set of surprised eyes. I've been sketching out my eyes in this little scribble book that I have that I use to scribble down my ideas. Actually, this entire eye series was suggested by some of my friends who come to my early morning chats. Let me tell you, just because it's 4:30 in the morning doesn't mean we don't think. We think. And they suggested that I do a series of stamp carvings of eyes. So I've done the flirty eyes. I've done the eyes looking up, which is not on here. I've got some more eyes on another list here, but then if I go way back here, whoops, not there. Where's my other eye that I drew? Way back. This is another set of eyes that we discussed in our early mornings, and here's my sketch for my surprise die, which I like the sketch better. If you go back here on this page, this is what I want to do for my other set of surprised eyes. Now, I was using an ink pen and it's kind of blurred in there. I want more white in there, and I want the eye to be opened up just a little bit more. But I think when you see it in context of, let me put a nose on here. Just a nose and an open mouth. You see it as being more of a surprised eye. And in this case, they're looking off over that way. And I'll have a little bit more white in there, so there'll be a little white under each eye. But because I was using a ink pen that blurred, and I'm not showing you this one because I'm not ready to show it to you yet. So I'm going to carve a second set of surprised eyes on the back of this set. And let's see if I can do this again and get a better result. I start off by tracing around the stamp so I can get a sense of the space that I'm going to carve my eyes in. Now I want my eyes to be fairly rounded, but I have to get two on this stamp. So I'm sketching them out. I decided to put eyebrows on this stamp. So I'm showing you there where I'm leaving more space between the eyes. On the first two, I did not leave that much space. Putting the eyebrows, the eyeballs are kind of looking off to the right. And instead of putting those lines in there, I'm shading in the pupils of the eyes. So just showing you here how it might look on a face of surprise. Now I'm taking my soft lead pencil and I'm outlining in lead, in graphite, all the dark lines because I'm going to transfer it off. You'll see I'm doing that now. I'm going to transfer it off on my eraser just by turning it upside down and rubbing on it. Now I did not get a very good transfer this time, but I have enough that I can detail it and sketch in. And really that's all I need because it gives me a sense of what I'm doing, and I just redraw it on there. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm zooming in so that you can see it better as I work on it. Here I'm just detailing it, showing how it might look on the face. Okay, I'm getting ready to carve. Now I'm going to use the V blade, and this is the smallest V blade. It's called a number 1 V blade. And I'm just outlining around the areas that I want to be stamped off, and those are the black areas. So I'm carving around them. Here I'm carving out the white of the eyes. Carving it all out. Carving out the white eyeball there. Just leave a little white in there. Tracing the other eye. I call it tracing. It's really just outlining and carving around it. I do this enough so that when I go in with my larger blade, I know where I'm going. I've already defined my areas by outlining them, by carving around the positive shapes that I want to stamp off. So already it's starting to take shape. Now I'm just using the larger V blade and I'm cutting away those edges. I like to cut away those edges and smooth them off, angle them down. Now I'm just carving away all that negative white space. Now I don't want any of that to print off, so this is really the easy part. And it's really kind of fun because it's kind of meditative in a way, and you get a sense of what your stamp is going to look like in the end. So you just continue working at it, carving away, underneath of the eyes there. Just shaping out the eyes. You'll see that I brush off all those shavings every now and then. I like to use that little ink tray to hold my erasers as I'm carving. It's just the right size. And I can position it in the corner so it doesn't slip. It's just an extra ledge to rest my eraser against. Always try to carve away from your fingers if you can. Sometimes I don't, but I'm very careful, and that's what you should be, very careful. You don't want to jab yourself. Carving on the pupil of the eye there, and instead of making those white lines, I think, which kind of made my other stamp look dazed, I decide to leave the pupil of the area just black. I think that works much better. Carving away the eyebrows there, cleaning up all that negative space, just cleaning up my stamp. I'm getting pretty close to where I'm getting ready to stamp it off. Are you anxious to see what it looks like? I am. So carving it away. I've got those eyes defined in really big dark lines, and that works for me now. As I go, I might try to thin out those lines a little. I mean, on future stamps. But right now, those big dark lines help me. Yeah, I can always carve away, but I can't put it back. So I'm just detailing it. All right. Now I'm getting ready to stamp it off. That's how it looks. I'm using Ranger's Archival ink. Kind of hold it up to the face to see how it looked, and oh, let's see what the first, I'm kind of happy with that. Now the right eye's kind of really dark, so I'm going to be working a lot on the right part of the eye there. But now I'm just cleaning up all those little areas where I want to detail it. And as you can see, when I'm pointing to the right eye on the paper, it is the left eye on the stamp. I want more white in the eyeball there. Got a little bit too much, but that's okay. That just makes it fun. Cleaning up all the little spots on the eyes. And this is really the part where you define it. You define the eye in the first carving, but as you get ready to detail it, you really hone in and make it what it should be. Clean up all those little dirty spots, and you clean up the lines so that they are what you want. Okay, I'm going for the second impression here. Still a little bit dark on that right eyebrow. Still a little bit of work to do in there. I need more white in the eyeball of the white eye. So here I go again, just cleaning up more of the things that I see that I'm not quite happy with. So I'm pointing to them. Yeah, I'm getting there. Cleaning up all those little specks in the eyeball. Little place where you carve with that one blade, that size 1 blade. It's tiny, and you don't always see the little specks between the ridges until they are inked. Then you see them and you can carve them away. So just cleaning it up. Going to go here. Oh, I decide that I don't want so much of that in the corner of the eye. I decided it looked better if I didn't have that so elongated. So I just kind of clean up underneath of the eyes there. Trying it for the third impression. Let's see what happens. Oh, I'm liking it a lot better. There's still areas that I want to clean up. I'm identifying the different impressions, so I document it for future observations. Well, yeah, and I do go back and look at my notes in my book to see, you know, how did I work back then 3-4 weeks ago, and what things was I concentrating on. So here you can see I'm kind of cleaning up that dark eye line under the right eyebrow. I make it a lot thinner, and I think that makes a world of difference. Cleaning up that corner of that eye on the left eye. Just cleaning up all the little dirty spots. Now I'm going for, I think this will be my final impression. I think I'm very happy with it. Yeah, last impression. Do a little cleanup on it. I don't really mark anything, just little pieces that need to be shaved away. Now I'm going to do the face in the lower right-hand corner. I always like to draw a little face down there. Draw a nose and a mouth so it looks like a surprise. And there we go. Final impression. Number 3, surprised eyes. I'm really happy with it. I like how it turned out. Sign my name to it and date it. Now there's still one more thing that I want to do, and that is document my second attempt at a surprise stamp. My first attempt, I lost the entire video on it, which was not such a bad thing because I wasn't happy with how it turned out anyway. But that's one of those things, when you don't like it, try again. So here's my first attempt here. This is the sketch for it, and this is how it's stamped out. Oh dear. So, time to try again. I'm going to turn the page because I'm still doing the sketches. Still attaching them in my book, and I'm going to attach this one. This is the sketch. Now be aware that the stamp is really only this area. Let's draw a big line around it. The stamp itself is only this area. And the rest of the face was just drawn there to show surprise, how it might look on a face. Document it. This is the eye stamps. Series. And this is really number 3B because this is my second attempt. And this is 9/11/2018. Look at these eyes versus my first one, which was these eyes. These eyes are really surprised, aren't they? These are much better. Right here. Much better. More what I'm going for. Surprised eyes. That's why we have 2 sides to the stamp. If you don't like it, try it again. Figure out what's wrong with it. Tell yourself why you don't like something and figure it out and try it again. And I even have progressed from here, and I was cleaning all of this up until I got to the final one down here. Very happy with it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow morning.